Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Merle Erickson, and today I'm going to be starting a little YouTube tutorial series on a game called Dangerous Waters. And what Dangerous Waters is, it's a modern combat naval simulator, and it was developed by Sonalist's Combat Simulations, and they've done a bunch of stuff over the years. But lately they haven't really done anything, so actually since I think 2007 was when this game came out, and that was their latest, so I don't know if they're going to be coming without anything else, but if they do, that'd be pretty cool. And so it was released in 2007, as I've already said, and so graphics-wise, it's not the best game out there, especially from the era, but one of the things that I really like about it is it's very unique in the way it does a naval simulation, and it's pretty much one of the only ones I know of that actually does a good modern naval simulation. And the immersion is also very good with this game, and the game mechanics. And so I thought they did a fairly good job with all of those, and I was looking around. There really aren't very many tutorials on YouTube, and so I decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own series, because I have a couple of friends who have the game, and they don't really know how to play it, so they don't actually play it, and so they're, like, well, it's an okay game and all that, but they don't really know how to play it, so they don't really get it. And so that's what this little series is aimed to do, is kind of trying to help people out with it, because it's a very complicated game. And sometimes it's very hard to understand, and there's a lot of things that are going on all at the same time, so you kind of have to be decent at multitasking. So basically I'm going to kind of overview of what I plan to do during these series episodes, and so this one is I'm going to start out with episode 1. This is this episode right here, and we're going to start out with game mechanics. I'm going to go through the menus, all the ships, the editor, USNI, which is United States Naval Intelligence, briefing, and everything basically you can do from the main menu without actually playing the game. So then we're going to move on to episode 2, which is going to go over which I'll go over the ships, when these are all different ships and stuff you can play as. But I'm just going to basically do each ship individually, and I'm going to do a systems overview first, and then I haven't really gotten far enough, but my plan after that is to go and do a basic tactics, which will probably be done with the 688i. That's not how you spell tactics, is it? Alright, and then, so, anyway, so that's just kind of a fast outline, so there's going to be a lot more coming. So anyway, so I guess I'll get started pretty much. I don't want to go there. But, so I guess we'll open up Dangerous Waters and we'll get going, actually. So, yeah, so, here we go. Ooh, that's unusual. It generally doesn't do that, but we'll live with it. So, as you can notice, I'm using Ubuntu, and so that's one of the reasons it's Dangerous Waters is a Windows game, and so basically in order to play it on Ubuntu, which is this computer that I have to use a virtual desktop with Wine, and the only problem is that it only is this big. And for some reason, last time I launched it, it was over on the other side. But I guess we'll live with this. And so I'm going to go run through the main menu. And so basically, this is your player tag, and you can change that, type around with it. But since, whoops, caps lock. Okay, and so you can type that, and then you can have multiple ones. That's what the drop menu's for. Whoops. And so then this over here scrolls through all of the different platforms you can play as. So you have the P3C Orion, which is a ASW, which stands for Anti-Submarine Warfare aircraft. So it's made to hunt submarines. Then you have the Kilo. This is a diesel-electric submarine made by the Russians. Seawolf. This is a hunter-killer submarine, or a attack sub. And that was one of the later developments of the Cold War by the U.S. Navy. This is a 688i, which is a Los Angeles class attack submarine. This is an Akula, which is a Russian attack submarine, and then they kind of appear in the middle here. And this is your only surface combatant, which is a Oliver Hazard Perry frigate that's made for ASW2, which again is anti-submarine warfare. So, and the Blackhawk, and that's not a Black Hawk, it's a Seahawk. And so that's the Navy version of the Black Hawk, if some of you know that. It's the Army version. And so I'm going to try and do as much detail as I can. That's why, actually, if we go back to this, I have, a few things to do. But the rest of these are fairly small because they're going to take a lot of time to go over. So, back to this. And also, during this, I'm going to be using a lot of acronyms, and I'll try and explain them as I go along, because it's a lot faster than actually reading out the whole thing. So I'm just going to go over the menu. So we have missions, and most of these are fairly self-explanatory until these two, so the missions, campaign, multiplayer, quick mission, mission editor, players, log options, and USNI reference. So we're going to start out with the USNI reference, which is US Navy Intelligence. I think I mentioned that before, but I'm not certain. And so we're going to go over to the missions first. And so this is all of the missions that that come with the game. It doesn't look like too many, but they're generally, most of these are going to take you on the order of an hour to 3 hours each. And so when you sit down for a game of Dangerous Waters, don't expect it to take half an hour, 10, 15 minutes. It's going to take a very long time because it's all in real time. Or you can speed it up, but that's the default. And so those are the missions. Then we're going to go to the campaign. So then you have these campaigns, and in order to go to the next one, you have to unlock the last one. And so I've done most of the campaigns, but I kind of had to reinstall this, so on this computer. So I haven't done any of the campaigns yet on this computer. So that's all of the campaigns, and most of these have to do with Russian rebels and all that fun. So, and then we're going to go to the multiplayer, which is, as you can join, and then you can host a game. Quick mission, which is a thing that allows you to do a faster mission. These are on the order of probably 45 minutes to an hour. So they're faster to do, and they're always random. So that's always fun. This is the mission editor. This is one of the main things I'll get into in just a moment. But this allows you to make your own missions and campaigns, which is fun. Player's log, which I haven't really done very much with this, but what it does, it tells you what you've done so far on this account. So what campaigns you've completed, the score you've got for those, and then the single missions that you've done, and all that. So then we're going to come down here to the options. You have your regular stuff. So 3D, all that, crew, what they do, controls, multiplayer, all that. So then I'm actually going to, so you're going to want to, if you're a beginner with this, you're going to want to select your auto crews, which will allow you to help you basically identify all this stuff. You're going to want to do that for all of these. I'll actually get into those later, but I recommend doing those if you're a beginner. If you're not, I don't really, it just depends on your preferences. So then this is basically most of the stuff that self-explanatory. Show dead platforms just shows platforms that are dead. Show truth means it shows every single ship, which isn't any fun because it takes away from the whole of what the game is actually supposed to be. So I don't recommend doing that. Show allies, it just means it shows you where your allies are and all that. And then okay, come down here. And then last thing, which is one of the cooler things with this game, is USNI reference, which is again U.S. Navy intelligence, and what that is, actually it's the Institute, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so what it allows you to do, it allows you to select a nation, and then all of the aircraft, platforms, subs, anything that is used in the game, weapons, everything is here. And so it allows you to select something, and then most of you know what a Nimitz class carrier looks like. So we're gonna, or at least maybe some of you do. And so basically the text will give you all of the stats of that. So like that its dimensions up here, what it can carry, its armament, what it uses for electronic warfare and all that, and everything else. And then we're going to go to a photo. This is a real photo of one, which is probably a lot of you have seen again. And this is the 3D model of in-game. You can zoom in and all that fun stuff. So yeah. Okay, so that's basically most of that. And actually, I'll just show you some of the weapons too. So like, the type of weapon that the U.S. Navy uses is a Mark 48 ADCAP torpedo, which if I can find it on here it is, right here. And then this, tells you, it can be very useful. It'll tell you its range, which is 8 kilometers or 4.31 nautical miles and all that. And most of this stuff is for in-game, so not all of it is actual fact. So like here's the model for it in an actual photo. So yeah. So now I'm going to get into what all of this stuff when you select a mission means. So you can, single and save. This is stuff that you've saved that you haven't completed, so you don't have to do it all at the same time. But, so then I'm going to select we'll go with, select a random one really. We're going to go here, and what it tells you, this right here is your tasking, but it's much easier to read if you hit the OK button. Oh, and this right here is a thing that'll show you where you're going to be. So like if we click up here, you can see it moves, and it'll zoom in where it is, or like it'll zoom in right here in the beginning. So then we're going to hit Okie dokie, and we are going to, this is basically your briefing before the mission starts, and I'd recommend reading this because it can be very important to letting you know what's happening and all of that. And so we're going to go back, and then I'll show you one more other thing that's that you're going to want to know later. But if we come to the campaign page, it's easy to get to. This allows you to select what platform you're going to be playing as. So like there's 3 different things you can play as. There's the aircraft, Russian sub, and U.S. Navy. So those are all the things you can play as on that. So I'm just going to show you that. And then one other thing with this is your briefing. OK will continue to the mission. Cancel takes you back. And then this is your weapons loadout. What your weapons loadout allows you to do is select what weapons you're going to load out with. So these are all of the default weapons. And so basically, if you select one, come down here, it'll tell you what it is, and you can decide whether or not you actually want to take it with you. And so I'd recommend, if you're going to be doing anti-submarine warfare or ASW, I'd recommend using a Mark 48 because that's what it's made for. And you can also use them against ships, but they're mainly made for ASW combat. And then you have your UUV and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into all of them because there's a lot of weapons in the game. But you can probably read these and it'll tell you exactly what it does. And I'll get into more detail about some of the weapons and some of the different strategies that can be used with them. So then this is your stores. And this tells you, and this is all default because I haven't actually played on this before, but this is your what you're going to be packing with you, I guess you could say. But what your stores are. So like when you use something up here, it'll leave the tube, and then you can reload it with something that's over here. And then here's your countermeasures, active and passive, which I'll get into in a later episode. These are different types of sonars and how the sonar uses that. And then this is your countermeasures. So I'll also get into those in a later game, but these will help distract torpedoes and all that. So now we're gonna head back, I guess, and that's probably just about it. Actually, I'm gonna make sure I covered everything in this episode that I wanted to. Yeah, I think that's just about it. So again, I hope you guys will watch my later episodes, and I'll try and get those out as fast as I can. But again, thank you for watching.